Namaste people, boys and girls, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Sanghamitra, welcoming you guys with all my heart one more time. So guys, today I'm going to share you my interview experience with Hexaware Technology Solutions. So Hexaware, as we all know, is it's a good company to work with. It has around 20 to 25,000 employees. It's an India-based company, but learning wise and skill wise, if you work with them, you're definitely going to learn a lot of things there. I have worked with Hexaware for a year, and I learned a lot of things working with them. So I'm going to share you my interview experience with them. So I kind of got selected twice in Hexaware. So I'm going to share you my very recent experience, which I've had with them around 2.5 months back. So Hexaware, how they recruit typically is they recruit you for a project. It doesn't work like Cognizant, Infosys, Deloitte, HCL, wherein you are kind of interviewed and you move to a pool, and then accordingly you have to give client interviews and then get into a project. Hexaware typically they have a project in mind, and then they look for people with the right skill set, right? So the experience I've had was it's gonna be technical round, 2 technical rounds, and then you have the final HR round. So the first round was pretty much technical, which was for 45 minutes, and similar experience which we have with data structure and algorithm, Java collections, and Selenium questions were asked. So in terms of data structure, I was asked questions on explaining linked hash set. How does it work? What's the algorithm behind it? So you need to have your basics right. You need to have a good understanding of these kind of collections to answer that sort of question. I was asked to write a programming question on the first round on how do you find duplicates in an array, in an integer array. So I was given an integer array, and I was asked to find the duplicates and the occurrences of duplicates. So if one repeats thrice, so I was supposed to print 1 and the number of times that duplicate element kind of occurred. So there's a hash map approach which you can use. You can use brute force approach to solve this kind of problem, like 2 for loops, right, where the time complexity is O(n) square. So you can use any approach to kind of come to a conclusion with that sort of problem. So that was one question that was asked. The other technical question which I was asked is on exception handling. How do you handle exceptions in Java? I was also asked questions on the kind of exceptions I have faced in Selenium, like no such element exception, tail element exception. So when does these exceptions occur? I was also asked questions on the framework, the structure of the framework, and what kind of framework I work on, whether it's TDD, it's BDD, it's hybrid, or what sort of design model is used. So typically explain the entire structure of your framework. So that was another question that was asked to me. Since I think they were looking for someone in the AWS platform side, because they were migrating a project from legacy system, they were kind of re-engineering it into cloud. So what was my experience with AWS? So what do I understand about S3? What is EC2 instances? What are the kind of databases I've worked with? What's the difference between a MongoDB and an Oracle database? So those were some of the questions I was asked in my first round. So that really happened quick, and I was kind of selected in the first round, and then I was moved to the second round where I was directly kind of the client team interviewed me directly. That went on for an hour. So there were like 3 folks from the client team who was, I think, working from the client location, and I was asked questions on what sort of experience I have had, any difficult situation very recently I have encountered, and how did I mitigate it. I was asked questions about BDD. So what do I understand about Gherkin keywords, and how does BDD kind of help enhance a framework, or what are the advantages which BDD provides, which TDD doesn't give you, or hybrid, any other framework doesn't provide. I was asked questions on, what are hooks, what is the use of background keywords. So basically they were working on a framework which was BDD, I guess. So that's why these kind of questions. I was asked to explain the architecture I understand on AWS. So That is something which I had to explain from my experience I have had with AWS. And I was asked about the domains I've worked with, or I think they were looking for a healthcare domain, and I was asked if I do not have, because I have not worked in healthcare. I was into banking, financial, logistics, supply chain. So I was asked if I do not have an idea of a domain, how do I go about it? So what do I do next? So is it something I'm going to be dependent on the team to understand how it works, or the domain knowledge, or how do I understand? So questions like that were asked just to see how proactive you are in terms of your work, and if something new is thrown on your way, how do you deal with something like that? So all those sort of understanding these kind of situations, those questions were asked. So that was my second round with them. And then the final round was the HR round, where I was kind of, there was a salary negotiation round, and I was kind of discussed, and they were pretty much okay with what I was asking. So again, the documentation and things like that. Overall, the process was quick, because they were trying to look for a resource, for a particular project. They were scaling up, and that was the overall experience. So since I have worked with Hexaware, I can definitely tell, resourcing wise, they do not put too many resources at work. So you single-handedly might have to manage a lot of things, which gives you the exposure to learn a lot of things, because when you take a lot of responsibility, that's where you learn better. So the kind of work I did, the kind of exposure I got with Hexaware was super amazing, because I worked in multiple aspects. I was kind of involved in automation. I was doing functional. I was working with product owner teams. I was working with end users, with the development head, with delivery head. So it was a very, very great experience learning wise. So anybody who has cracked an organization like Hexaware, and you're looking forward to learn something, I would suggest definitely join. It's from my personal experience, since I've worked with them. So yeah, that was my experience with Hexaware, guys. So I would say stay calm when you're kind of trying to answer questions, because the more nervous you get, that's what I've realized. When I get nervous at interviews, I cannot perform. So yeah, that's my experience with Hexaware. I thought of sharing it with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like my videos, please consider subscribing. Stay tuned. I'm going to come up with more exciting stuff. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and shine bright.